says live
Okay.
on my end.
Yeah,
This is
it's not,
live here too. Yeah.
yeah, I don't have it yet though. It's still loading.
Oh.
All right, now we're good.
Okay, so I'll call the meeting to order at 6:17. The first item on our, we have a quorum with Tracy, Mark, and Al, and myself. The first item on the agenda is election of officers. So I nominate Mark as the chairman. Do I have a second?
Yay.
I second.
We have a second. Now, all in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Aye, unanimous. Mark, congratulations. You now have,
Thanks.
you now have the chairmanship.
And this is the first time that Jack hasn't been the chair in how long?
22 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
so thank you, Jack.
Wow.
Since the inception. Yep.
Well, thank you,
So-
Jack, for having
Congratulations,
that
Mark.
position for so long and doing such a great job with it.
With this position, though, also comes the key. The key to get into the meeting room. And so, Tracy, with your permission, what I'd like to do is hand over that key to Mark at Farmers Market this Sunday when I come as a patron.
Yep,
Okay, good.
I'll
That
just adjust
gives
the
you
log.
Thank you, Tracy. That gives you access to the side door and then get to the meeting room and you can get the mail and also you'll have access to the file cabinet in the meeting room.
And the printer and the fax machine and the copier and anything you need to do EDC business.
I
Wow.
thought it was a symbolic key and it was like really big and it was solid gold.
Yeah.
And it was an actual key.
Well, it's funny because I just needed the key the other day to get the movie, and now I have one.
The
So
movie wasn't there the other day, it wasn't there till
Yeah.
today.
yeah, true.
I forgot about it till yesterday. I'm like, oh no, do they need my movie?
All right.
So I guess you're finishing the meeting then.
Oh,
Now,
all
or
right.
does Jack finish the meeting? How does it work in the middle?
I think well, Jack had while he was on the phone, he asked if I wanted to finish up the meeting. I said
Okay,
that's
there you
fine.
go.
But I just need help with the Robbins rules. If
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we're easy.
okay. All right. So moving on to approval of minutes from June 18th.
Okay, hang on, before you go, you need to take nominations for a vice chair.
Oh yes.
Thank you, Diana.
Okay.
The vice chair and the secretary, or no?
No, I'm the secretary.
Okay,
Yeah, we only had only two officers, but
all right.
Okay. So Tracy, you're currently vice chair, right?
Probably, yeah.
Would you like to so if you want to remain in that position,
Does Al,
Do
if
we-
Al doesn't want it, I'll remain it.
I think Tracy's doing a great job, so I think it's a vote for her. Sounds excellent, excellent.
I second that motion.
all right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It'll look good on her resume, you know, I'm old, you know.
All right. And then secretary is staying the same as well. So, all right.
Okay, we're good.
Moving on to approval of the June 18th minutes.
I just had one suggested correction, and I don't have the copy with me because I forgot all my stuff at town hall, but there was a section where talking about the tourism, I think, where it said that there will be no grant or no money, something like that. It just changed the will to a might be.
Where is
It's the
that?
second, it's the second sentence on the bottom paragraph of the first page. the statement Tracy was saying was the state is not getting much revenue so that the tourism budget will be cut. That's the sentence I think you were talking about, Tracy, right?
Yeah, but it's not that it definitely will. It's a threat that it might be. So
So the state might be getting,
might cut
might,
because they're not getting revenue. They might cut it, cut the tourism budget.
okay, so the state is not getting much revenue, so the tourism budget might be cut
Right,
instead of will be. So we substitute the word might for will.
right.
Got it.
So I move that we accepted the minutes with this revision.
I'll second that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's
Call for
I
the
gotta
vote
get used
now.
to this. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any, those that oppose? All right, none. All right. What is it? Motion carries?
Yep, minutes
Okay.
approved.
All right, minutes are approved. All right, and moving. Oh shoot, I just lost some minutes. Hang on. All right, and next is citizen comments. I don't think we have any.
No,
Okay. And we don't have any guests. And we don't have Friends of Patchogue Forest. Are there any other reports or correspondence? Are there any like anything at the town hall?
there's just an update on the governor's executive orders. And businesses in town not complying. It's been, we had, the town hall got a lot of complaints about a month ago about some businesses where employees weren't wearing masks and where they weren't enforcing people coming in wearing masks. The executive orders have, if they're a restaurant or any hair salon or anything that falls under the Uncas Health District, then they're the ones responsible for enforcing. When it's something else, like a gas station, it's the town and the police that are responsible for enforcing. So we had, for the Board of Selectmen, we reprinted the guidelines for businesses and handed them out to all of the businesses in town so that they all had a copy of it. And almost immediately there was more compliance. So, and the punishment, or I hate saying punishment because it's,
Yeah.
but the consequences of not complying are closure of the business until they do comply. So that's per the state's rules.
Yeah.
And also now with the mandatory mask wearing and fines, that's a whole nother thing that's falling on any business in town that does events, or they're more weary of doing things now because the fines are there.
So actually, that might be a good segue to the farmers market.
Right.
So does that mean that we now have to require every person that enters the farmers market to wear a mask?
If we don't want to get fined $500,
Okay.
then
So
yes.
okay. I mean, thankfully, I'd say like, I don't know, 95 or like even higher % of people that enter the market do wear masks. I haven't seen very many.
But the
don't.
problem is, who's going to enforce it? Like, if someone doesn't have a mask on, we'll have to call the police. Do you think
Yeah.
that by the time the police get there, that
Yeah.
the person's still gonna be there? That's, as far as the town, we haven't, I'm supposed to like nominate someone as the enforcer. And by me just saying you're our enforcer is supposed to give this person the authority to write tickets. However, we have nothing in the town ordinances, nothing anywhere that we don't have the possibility of collecting and writing tickets anywhere. Like, it's not
Yeah.
something we even have.
Is there like a
Yeah.
big sheriff badge you get with this job?
It's volunteer, so if you want the volunteer job.
I don't want to volunteer for that. Nobody wants to be that. I
then
don't want to be
We
that.
are a mask enforcer. It's just, it's crazy. So I don't know how they expect it to happen. It's just not, it's not realistic. But we
Although
have to do what we can to comply, so we can ask people, and I don't want anyone to be put in danger either by confronting people. So we just mentioned once, it's mandatory to wear masks, and if they don't, then they don't. I don't know what else to do. Like, I don't want
You can just ask them to leave.
Yeah.
Can I suggest, we on our bulletin board that most people or a lot of people look at when they first enter into our market, that we get a good poster or a document, a nice printed out document that says, per governor's recent order, all folks in this market must wear masks.
Mhm.
Remember, we were going to put something in about wearing masks, and I think that got diluted somehow or other. I don't see that as really jumping out at people.
But for us too, I don't know, we're not a high risk area or event because we're outside. People aren't all up in each other's faces. So we can put up there for them to wear masks. And I think that's what we can do. So
I think the two things, well, I guess three things. So one, we're probably obligated to put up that executive order.
with the fine amounts and everything, we can
Yeah.
put that there.
But then I know like a month or two ago, you had said that does the town still have extra masks? Can we?
Yep, I still have more
provide?
masks. Yep,
Okay.
there's still some in the butt. There's still a whole bunch in the bin that went on there. I put out on the table.
Okay.
And I can get more.
We had them there last Sunday.
Yeah.
In the bin.
All right.
Yeah. And
All
if
right,
we
so-
need more, I can bring more. Just let me know.
Okay. So I think like the process should be, okay, we advertise the executive order, then the only way that we can enforce it is we provide them a mask. If they refuse to wear the mask,
We can ask them to leave.
Yeah, then we ask them to leave.
Yeah.
My bigger concern isn't necessarily with the people that walk through like our section, because we're right there to tell them, hey, you need to wear a mask. It's the people that more times than not intentionally hop over the guardrail,
Yeah.
that don't want to bother walking, through the entrance. Those are probably the people that aren't going to be wearing the masks. Those are my concerns. So I think even if we put the sign at the entrance, it's probably not going to make its way to the people that actually need to read it.
Right.
So we'll just have to be proactive in, tracking those people down, I guess. The only other thing I can think of is if Vinny can bring like another 2 or 3 stakes, we can print out extra signs and post
them up
them throughout
along
the
the wall.
market. Yeah,
Suggestion, Mark, suggestion.
sure.
Several times in the past, what we have done is we have gathered all the vendors together before 10 o'clock. Tell them that, as soon as you get there at 9 o'clock or whenever they get in there, we're going to have a vendors meeting at 10 minutes of 10. And then at that time, Mark, then we should tell them if anybody shows up without a mask on, they need to tell the person without the mask, by orders of the market masters here in Voluntown, we are not allowed to serve you unless you have a mask. Go to the EDC table, they have masks there for you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
And that way they have, they're not serving. The person who's violating knows that they're not going to get served.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I'm fine with that. We can definitely do that. Yeah, I
That's
think
gonna
that
be
sounds good.
That's you and Al this Sunday then.
Okay. Al, bring your bring your, you know.
Bulk up and look tougher.
bring,
The scrawniest guy, right?
bring your muscles. Okay. Yeah, no, I think that that sounds good. I think that's a good plan, and that's as much as we can do. Are the executive orders in effect right now?
It actually, I just got an email today. I think he signed it today.
Okay, so they're in effect as of today. Got it.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, moving on to the farmers market and Facebook update. I mean, as far as I'm aware, there's no changes with the farmers market. We have what, 4 markets left, I believe. Yeah, 4.
Correct. 4 more,
Um,
yep, 4 left.
And so, Jack, you want us all to be there for the last market, is that correct?
I was thinking that, but maybe it's not necessary. What the thought was, if we were all there together, we can package everything up and put it away in the shed, for permanent storage for the winter. I don't know that, we all have to be there for every minute of that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't think we all need to be there either. I don't think, as far as packing everything up permanently, it's not much different than what we're currently doing. So does anyone else have any?
I don't know, did we have the tents in the shed all year, or were they in the town hall?
They were in the shed.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine. They didn't get eaten, so.
yeah. I mean, just about everything that we're currently using came from the shed, from the winter. So because the first time Al and I opened up, or I think Jack might have been there too, the first time we opened up the table from the shed, it was pretty nasty because of the mouse nest that was in there. So, okay.
Putting poison in there too.
Yes. Okay.
Being blocked. So,
All right. So,
Mark, what about your questionnaire?
oh, yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Jack.
Okay,
Yes.
I found MailChimp. I use MailChimp for the newsletter, and when I got in there today to work on the newsletter for October, there's a survey. They have surveys in there now.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't have a chance to play around with it and figure out how it worked, but there is a survey in there, and
Okay.
I can put, you didn't have that many questions. I didn't see what the total was.
I think it was like 11 or 12.
Yeah, so I can probably put, once I play around with it, I'll figure out how many questions it'll let me put in a survey, and we can
Okay.
email that. We can even email that out to everyone. So,
Yeah. I think
Al?
if you can just put a link in the newsletter and maybe, make a couple posts on Facebook about it,
right,
just the people that showed up to the market will be the ones that respond. So
yeah.
I think that would be fine.
Al's suggestion about asking them about the radio stations they listen to, that was a valid point. Remember, Al?
Yeah. So that is a good point. what are everyone's thoughts? Do you think we're missing the radio ad this year? Is it necessary to continue using the radio ad?
Well,
It just
I don't know if it is. I mean, then again, I don't even know. Like, imagine they're all listening to the same station, but they're already showing up to the farmer's market. I don't know if that helps us, but maybe, maybe we at least would know what the most popular station was. That every
If we
station was
decided
doing.
to,
So maybe in
yeah,
the future, if we have money and we decide we want to, at least we know who to target.
yeah.
That's all. Just for
My
informational purposes.
my only concern is just how much it is. It's what it was like $5,000, I think.
Yeah, I didn't think it was worth it, especially during the survey. We found out no one listened to that radio station.
Yeah.
But
That's
I'm
hard
just
to
saying, maybe we should
tell.
find out. I don't remember what they listened to. That's all.
I know this year there's no way to truly know, because we do have lower numbers, but is that I don't think that's because of the lack of radio ads. I think it's more because of COVID.
And we don't have entertainment and we don't have events. So I
Yeah.
think that affected our totals more than the radio. Except
I
maybe
would
the
agree.
first day, we got a lot of people on the first day when they did their radio show, but
Yeah,
other than that, I don't think it made a difference.
I would agree. So that's the only reason why I left it out of the survey this year is just because do we even want to consider using the radio ad going forward?
Maybe that's the question mark in the
Okay.
questionnaire, people.
Okay.
And if so, what station would you like? What station do you listen to?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, Tracy, I'll update that on the survey, and then you can try and upload it. My only concern is Tracy, with MailChimp, do you pay a subscription right now?
No, it's free.
It's free. Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that there's like a 10 question limit.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I was thinking.
Well,
There's
then
probably,
cut that one off then. That's all. Remove that question. That's just the limit.
Okay. All right. So what I'll do is when I send you the updated survey, I'll, highlight the 10 questions that we want, or like the 3 questions that can be left off if that's the case, I guess. Does everyone, I'll also send that edit to everyone. That way, if anyone has, comments, then we can make the change before it goes live. All right. Anything else regarding the
but-
farmers? Oh,
Can I butt in here
Sure.
for a minute?
Yep.
And go back to the things being put into the shed? Mice don't like mint. So if
Yeah.
you can get a hold of some mint and sprinkle it liberally around the edges of the shed, that may help. It's not going to deter them entirely, but it might help a little. I used to put it in our motorhome. It helped.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That is good to know. Or at minimum, we can sprinkle it around the valuable things like the tents and the
some of the
Yeah.
flags got eaten.
yeah. Is there a spot? Maybe this year we should leave like the supply bin. Maybe we should leave that out. Would that be good to leave at the town hall?
We can leave, there's room for, we used to put all of the stuff at the town hall, so there is room
Okay.
for the tent, we had the tents down there, we had the flags there, and we might have had the bin there too. So
Okay.
there's room for that if we want to do it.
All right. So maybe I'll just grab the bin and the flags to make sure that those have no chance of getting eaten. Other than that, I think everything else can stay there.
And we don't have
Although-
mice there.
Ooh, what's that?
We don't have mice at the town hall, we just
Okay.
checked today.
Although I think when we started this season, we had a cover for the tent. Do we still have that cover?
Yeah,
I feel-
it's in the shed.
Okay.
It didn't get put on because of the day that it rained. Everything was
Got
soaking
it.
wet, so we didn't put the cover on it in case so it didn't get gross in the week.
Okay. Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it
But
just
it's on the
ended
show.
up staying off.
Okay,
It's on the show.
got it. Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to, if we didn't have the cover, I was gonna say we should move that over. But I think as long as we have the cover, then we should be fine, I think. So, okay. All right, moving on to EDC website and Valentine.biz. Any updates with that, Tracy?
Nope.
All right. Business development and planning and zoning. Jack, do you want to talk about that?
I'll talk a little bit about the advisory committee that we're on, that Mark and I are
Yep.
on.
Okay.
This is for the POCD, planning for the 10-year future, and the advisement committee that we're on is to review the POCD that was issued and try to help the Planning and Zoning Commission put together a more constructive plan that's reflective of, in a better way of what we need to have here in town. And then, so there's a meeting coming up on Monday, the 21st, under the pavilion out there, in which we were going to be presenting our thoughts in the different topic areas, and to the Planning and Zoning Commission, I thought, but I could be corrected, and maybe we're just going to rehearse our recommendations.
I
I
believe
have-
we are trying to present updates to someone representing the planning and zoning. I don't know if anyone has confirmed yet. So
Right.
that's the issue, I think.
What I have is, my topic was the economic development, which was, I thought, appropriate, being that I've been with the EDC for all those years, as I keep saying. And without going through the whole list, what I can do is I can, I'll copy everybody, what we in the committee have put together, based on some of the items that I brought up and researched, and just basically, our goal is to be proactive to facilitate a new investment in Voluntown that leads to an increase in and more diversified grand list while protecting our natural assets and rural character. That Juliet Hodge is a member of our committee, and she's taken what I put out and really refined it to these specific items here. And then from that goal, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 objectives and actions. And I'm not going to delve down deep, but I'll copy this and give it to everybody. I'll scan it and get it to everybody tomorrow. And the number 1 is to embrace tourism as an economic driver for the town as it relates to patchwork forest and outdoor activities. And then there's broken down A through D items. And of course, one of those items is the continuation of our map. The next one is 2 is to promote the value and benefit of increased connectivity and involvement with nearby urban centers, the state and regional planning and economic development organizations, advocacy groups, and institutions for higher education. So we have done that. The EDC has done that over the years, but we've kind of fallen to the wayside on staying up on tracking on that. The higher education part was where we actually got UConn at $3,000, I think, is what we donated to their architectural group, and they did the whole plan of the streetscape for us, which was invaluable. But those are the kind of things that we could get in contact with local colleges and see with their professors and maybe the forest and maybe the business part of it, and get them involved to try to help us. So that's just some of the thoughts. The next one, 3, conduct a thorough analysis of the current zoning and subdivision regulations to identify barriers to investment. That's not for us. These are all things, by the way, that should be done by the Planning and Zoning Commission, of which, as an EDC, we should be there to help them. 4, protect the integrity of existing infrastructure through the timely budgeting for maintenance and repairs and necessary upgrades. 5, the last one here, is be proactive in efforts to attract investments in appropriate locations. And so a lot of this is the thread weaves through how we can project the value of tourism through the use of folks coming to visit the Patchogue State Forest. And that was my part. Mark, you had the one on recreation?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I won't go too much into that just because we're economic development, but yeah, so I did the same as Jack, where I, kind of went through with what was put in the POCD, the current POCD, and then made some suggestions, changes for the objectives and the goals, and I think we pretty much kept the mission the same. But yeah, so my my suggestions were more focused on making sure that we meet the needs of the town as far as recreation. So making sure that recreation is available to everyone, including those with disabilities or special needs, or low income. So that was kind of my focus with my suggestions. And I'll also be presenting those changes on Monday to hopefully someone from the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Oh, you haven't heard if anyone's going to be there?
I spoke with Juliet briefly on Wednesday, so yesterday, and she was under the impression that, I guess initially we thought that the chairman was going to be there, but I think she was under the impression that no one has confirmed that someone from Planning and Zoning will be attending. So that could be an issue if no one shows up. So, but yeah, so that's the update for the POCD subcommittee. Jack, yesterday you sent us an email regarding like a oh geez, what's the word? A grant opportunity. Yeah.
The Regional Partnership Program.
Yep.
Eastern Regional Tourism District.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So that's related to the next
Yep.
segment.
I want to
Okay,
see
so
if I can put it on my screen. Let's see. Share screen.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Okay.
Bless you.
So.
Oh, very good.
Yes. All right. So this is a grant from the Eastern Region Tourism District. This was put out by the marketing committee of the tourism district. I'm on the executive committee for the tourism district. I think I'm one of the only people on the executive committee that's not also in the marketing committee. So I'm going from what was explained to me from the marketing committee. So this grant's available. There's $180,000 set aside for this grant. Now this money is originally from the Department of Economic, the DECD for the state. It's part of the tourism money that the tourism district gets from the state, and we set aside this amount for grants to help to help businesses or nonprofits or other organizations in the area promote tourism in their area. And it's the purpose of the grant is to encourage like-minded groups and businesses to work together for a project. So that being said, the way that the grant goes is there is a 2-to-1 match for the first $5,000. So if you want to apply for 5,000, you would have to do a 2-to-1 match. And then after that, it's a 1-to-1 match for the next up to 15,000. So, and there's a cap of 25,000 per request. There's already been several applications approved. There is still money left though, so we are encouraging more groups to apply.
Can I suggest that we might, this is money that we have to show we've already spent, right, Tracy?
It has to be a cash match. So it has to, you have to have money. I don't think you have to have actually spent it already. I don't think it says in here. I think you just have to prove.
I'm
You just have
thinking
to
that
prove.
our whole concept of having our trails maps would fit into this category. And if we can take the money that $1,000 that we spent, that we gave to James Dodd for printing these maps, maybe we can get reimbursed $1,000.
I think it has
would
to
this
be
work?
for a project that you haven't spent yet. I'm trying to figure out, they were talking about it like it was a project that you were working on that you hadn't done yet,
How
that you
about
were promoting.
we could do it for next year's map. Then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we would want to show that we were working with someone else with it. So if we wanted to get, I don't know, I know we were working with Griswold, it would, because they want, it's to encourage people that are working on a similar project to work together to spread their money the best. So if we
Okay.
showed that we had, like in our budget, we have money set aside for the maps. And if, I don't know if Griswold has money set aside for like tourism that they wanted to contribute. And then we could request for, it's a 2-to-1 match. So we could request for that up to $5,000,
So just to make sure that I'm understanding this correctly, for the 2-to-1 match, we have to put up 5,000 and then, no, wait,
No.
we have to put up 10,000 and then
No,
they
I
give
think-
us
I
5,000?
think 2-to-1. I can't remember because I think now I'm confused because I had it backwards. I had 1-to-2, 2-to-1. What's 2-to-1?
It says on the brochure 2-to-1.
All right, so 2-to-1 would be for every dollar that we have, the matching donor contributes double.
Got it. Okay, so it doesn't have to be a specific like $5,000. It could be like up to 5,000.
Yeah, and
Okay.
so they would match it up to $5,000.
Okay. Something I've been thinking is and let me know if I'm wrong or if we already have this, but I really feel like we should have like a portfolio of videos or pictures, like professional photography of Patchogue, like whether it be like aerial or in the forest or of different parts of the forest. That way we can use those pictures for marketing purposes and putting them on our website. Like maybe you can use them on the town website like as a background or something. If we can come up with some kind of way to I guess the project would be hiring a photographer to take professional pictures of Patchogue State Forest. I don't know. That's
Because that's
my
something.
On that topic, Mark, we have Ryan Hargrave
Mhm.
who
Yeah.
does that professionally, And maybe what we could do is, we have all of these designated trails or even parts of the Patchogue State Forest, like the Frog Horse Trail park right there. Have him fly over that and maybe fly down in it, and then do the same thing for Green Falls, and maybe do the same thing for the part of the dirt bike, and working with, and then also there's that new the new trail that we have on our maps that the Friends of
the dirt bike or
Park-
the mountain bike trail.
Yeah, and I
mountain
think
bike trail, yeah.
after hearing Ryan too, I know that we could see if the Friends of Patchogue Forest wants to go in on us with this too, because I know they're working on a new website as well, and they're gonna want the video and the photos to use on that too.
Okay.
So,
And there you go. I mean, so there's our partner, and then we can even reach out to Griswold because Patchogue is in parts of Griswold. The only thing is, for this proposal, I think there's going to have to be some kind of final project. So our intention is to have these pictures and videos readily accessible for us for years to come for marketing. But I think what these guys, Eastern, Connecticut Tourism is going to want to see is, okay, how are we going to use these pictures and videos? So what's our end project going to be?
And we have to make sure one of the criteria for the grant is making sure that whatever program or project you do it has to contain the Connecticut, the CT Visit, Mystic Country logo.
Okay.
And it has to be compatible with the Connecticut Office of Tourism marketing ideas and efforts. So it has to be along their theme as well, so that they would probably want to use it too for promoting our area, which would be fabulous because they never promote anything here.
Can our project or proposal simply be like, here, we're going to get these pictures professionally taken for you, do what you want, and then hand them over to, the Office of Tourism? Or
we can give them a copy of everything we have, so they have it for their stuff too. I think there's nothing wrong with that. So.
Yeah, I mean, and that's really just what I want is, professional pictures readily available, and then we can hand them over to CT Visit, and they can do whatever they want with them, and that's our promotional,
because
and then we
have them.
We don't have the reach, there's no point in us, coming up with a TV commercial to promote, the state forest when that's what the state should be doing.
Right.
Or like a radio ad doesn't make sense. It just,
right.
And we don't have wineries. We don't have, the only thing I could think of was, the Christmas tree farms, but as much as I want to support the local business, I don't think we're gonna, create droves of people coming to our Christmas tree farms, because of our marketing.
Because maybe the Last Green Valley would even go in a little bit on it too, because they want to promote that area as well. So I'm sure we could reach out to a lot of different partners and see if they want to contribute any funding towards it, and then see what we can get matched.
Okay.
Any little bit would work. I don't know. It's probably going to be pretty expensive. So depending on.
For the photography. Yeah.
The timeline on when we're supposed to get this submitted to them.
Yeah. October 31st.
Oh, geez.
Oh, boy. Wow.
All right. And
I can do something on our maps. I can do something for the maps for next year.
But the project doesn't have to be done until June 2021. So we just have to have the project in place and the application request in. So, but the project has to be done by June 30th, 2021.
So that actually, and Jack, you just mentioned the maps. I think the best way that we can tie in the maps is by saying we will use these new photographs on our map. for next year.
Oh, good way. Yeah, that's excellent, Mark. Yeah.
Yeah,
If we get the sites, because I know we wanted to put certain site photos on the
Yes.
map,
yeah,
and this would
Yeah.
be perfect to link that in too.
yeah. So basically, we're gonna put in the cost of the maps, and then the cost of the photography, and then
All in
our
one bu-
end project will be that we're gonna have these new photographs to put on our website, which we'll do in Friends of Patchogue Forest. We'll have that last Green Valley. We'll have access to that as well. But we're also going to put these pictures and videos on our maps. Well, not the videos, but the pictures. So, okay. I like that plan. Does anyone else have any
It's
comments?
worth a try.
Yeah. It'd be nice if we got it because I feel like if anyone needs it, we need it. You know,
Yeah.
we don't have, $2,000 to pay someone to take these pictures
Right.
and all that stuff. You know?
You want me to contact Ryan?
Yeah.
Sure.
it-
Our Ryan that we know in the Friends of the Park, Patchogue, and put something together
Yeah, I
uh,
with
don't-
those guys?
Well, we have to get some quotes to see how much it's gonna cost.
Yeah.
So,
I can get that from Ryan.
okay. So you're going to reach out to Ryan, the photographer, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And then do you also want to reach out to Ryan Schneid, or I can do that? I also see Sharon like almost every day.
Yeah, why don't you do that part, Mark? Yeah.
Okay. You also have a contact to Last Green Valley. Do you want to reach out to Last Green Valley?
Okay, I will, yeah.
Okay. I'll mention this to Mark Darren at Patchogue, just to see, what involvement, if any, he wants to have. Also, just to make him aware of it.
yeah, because we
then-
are gonna be using the state forest, so
Yeah.
we should let them know and at least get their blessing or permission too.
Yep.
So,
Yep. And then I still think it would probably benefit us to involve Griswold.
Mhm.
And they wanted to kind of expand the map and whatnot. So I can reach out to the first selectman, or Tracy, do you want to? don't know
I
what
can't,
kind
it
of-
doesn't matter to me.
Okay. I just don't know what relationship you have. I guess it would probably be better if it came from you, is my
Right,
guess.
right. Yeah, I can talk to him.
Okay. If you want, you can CC me. And
Yeah.
Todd Babbitt.
Yep, Todd. Yep. Okay. All right.
I
That works
recently
out well.
Recently heard that he was, had a serious illness. by
Yeah,
the way.
but we're recording.
Okay. All right. Move on.
All right. Okay. I like that plan.
Okay.
Any other comments or feedback? All right.
I can email you all a copy of this document too, so you have
Okay.
it.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Thank you. All right. And let's see. Trail maps. I mean, we touched upon that. Is there anything else to add to that, Jack?
Well, I still have a whole bunch of them in the back of my car. I did pass out a whole bunch of a couple of hundred of them I put up in the tourism booth over in North Stonington. That's right off of 95.
Yep.
I put a whole bunch there, and then I went down and there's two motels. I dropped 25 packs of 25 off the two motels on Route 2 in North Stonington, and then I went down to Foxwoods, and the only out of the four motels there, the only one that used to want to take as many maps as we could give them, because people were really using them, was the Two Trees Inn, and that place was closed. They closed.
Oh, really?
Right across the street from it is a gas station and a little variety store called the Outpost.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I put 25 over there. I asked them if I could do that, and then they did take them. So
Okay.
now I got a whole bunch of them here still. So I don't know if we need to distribute them, but I don't know. So I got a bunch more. So we need to know where and when to hand those out.
Okay. Yeah, I'll brainstorm as to where we can put those out.
And I think I'll have to ask Sharon again, but I think she said they had like map holder things on some of the trails.
Oh yeah.
So I think I'll touch base with her again before we do it, but I think she mentioned that we could stick them in there.
Yes, I think she mentioned that to me as well. That sounds correct. So yeah, if you want to reach out to her or next time
Yeah.
I see her, I'll ask her. But yeah,
They
that
go
would be a good
fast. She
spot.
said they're really popular and people are always looking for them. So
Yeah, I mean at the headquarters, we usually replenished, 25 a week, I would say. During the peak of the summer, it's
right.
slowing down now. But yeah, they are popular. Is there anywhere over in Griswold that we can put them?
I don't know if they have trails out there with the sign holders.
James, let me interrupt here. James Dodd said Griswold has 1,000 of them.
Oh,
Okay.
their own?
And somebody from the EDC or the town hall was supposed to distribute them, and to his dismay, this is James Dodd dismay, he's understanding that no one's doing that. So he was going to volunteer to do that himself.
So does Griswold have the exact same copy, or do they have their own Griswold version?
No, they have exactly. They just asked.
Okay.
They paid $1,000 to him, so he could make more copies of what we have.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. Okay. All right. All right.
Maybe
And
drop some off. We get to Julia Hodge on Monday,
Yeah.
yeah,
because she works for North Stonington. She could take
Yeah.
and drop them off to town hall and places that she might think that
All right.
that would be a good synergy.
yeah, yep, yeah. That's a good idea. All right.
I will
Um,
bring them.
Jack, do you have any historical updates?
No.
Oh, you
Okay.
know what? Jack, when I was reading the minutes from the last meeting, it was mentioned in there about Ryan was talking about cemeteries or something. And that cemetery grant, I think, is still open. And I don't have Ryan's email address to send it to him, but that cemetery grant that I was asking about could go to whatever cemetery Ryan was talking about last meeting. I don't know what it was.
Well, it's Fish Cemetery, Tracy.
Yep.
That Fish Cemetery, which is off of Fish Road.
The thing, if I apply for this grant and we get the money, someone actually has to do the work.
Well, while we were talking to Sharon, who visited us, Al and I.
Well, I
on
got to
Sunday,
unmute. How much that job pay?
Well, whatever we apply for the grant, whatever, I don't know what that cemetery looks like and how much work it needs. But it would be for the work of it and to whatever it needs to be repaired. But I don't know if it needs a new fence or what. I don't know what it looks like there.
She was saying that there's only half a dozen headstones there, and the person who was working on that trail had just piled a whole bunch of brush over it to kind of hide it.
What?
So there's
Come
that
on.
one there, and then there's the cemetery over by Lester Davis's property there, where right off of Preston City Road, where the state has the big igloo over there for the salt sand.
All the sand
storage.
thing. Yeah.
Behind that is the cemetery in there, and that's why I said to see if you can contact Lester Davis,
Okay.
and he might be able to come up with something. And that's part of his family's cemetery,
Okay.
his own in there.
Okay. All right.
And there's private ones too. There's the Gallup Cemetery in, off of 49 here. I don't know if they wanted to have any suggestions. That would be another one but I don't know. That's private property too, though.
Right, okay. Yeah, I think I can't remember what the criteria was, if it was public.
I guess, Tracy, if you want to email that grant, like a link to it or something.
Yeah.
I think I have Ryan's email. I should be able to find it, and then I can either forward it to him, or I do have his number, so I'll text
Okay.
him about it. But just email it out that way. I have a copy of it.
And then
Okay.
Another historic thing is Wiley School has to be painted before it gets cold. We have all the paint, we have all the supplies. We just have to schedule a day for volunteers to paint it. And we think that we'd be able to do that fine with the COVID compliance to paint the building. So that'll be coming up before it gets cold.
Okay. Is that something that the town is going to organize? Like, will you be promoting that?
Yes.
Okay.
What about Historical Society? Any thoughts from them on that?
I haven't heard any thoughts on them, except they were just wondering for a date when to do it, so.
Okay. Ryan Snide's email is anythingplumbing@yahoo.com.
Okay.
Just a thought, Tracy, maybe reach out to the Boy Scouts for that project as well.
What about the volunteers from Sterling?
Yep, we could ask them. Econc, they had offered before, so I can check with them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to, leave them out. They volunteered, and so.
Right.
All right. All right, that's it for historical updates.
Yes.
Okay. Budget, who is that, you, Tracy, or is that you, Diana?
Budget, yeah, usually does.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, I did
Jack.
not get anything. I did not get anything for this meeting. The only thing I think we spent money on was for our maps, which is $1,000.
Yep.
And then we have some items coming up that we need to. We always give money to the Connecticut historic group there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the
And
last
then-
Green Valley.
And the Last Spring Valley, yeah.
Okay. Those have already been paid.
I've got to check on that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think not, because I think typically we get those out at the beginning of the new year.
Got
Our
it.
budget goes, July to
Yep.
June.
Yep. Okay. All right. Old business, I don't think we have any. Does anyone know of any old business?
No,
No.
Okay. New business, we
I have a-
already just,
I have a question that if anyone is interested, because the rec commission's doing the trunk or treat. And if we want to do it, we could do a trunk from the EDC, if anyone's interested. We can pass out maps.
oh, hey, Al, do you have your truck back?
Did you
That
get a
would be
camper?
no. They're still doing the wiring.
Oh, jeez. Well, okay, wait, we have until October 31st.
We'll say, all I can do is ask.
I mean, well, so you also have those nice tractors. Does a tractor count as a trunk?
Probably
But,
not. It's kind
well,
of cold. It is Halloween,
Huh?
It is Halloween.
I know.
I don't know if we have, and I don't know if we have money in the budget, or if we wanted to put aside money for the candy, if we do
Yeah.
decide to do a trunk, we could do that.
All right. Well,
I know there's money in the budget for that. We never did put anything in there for that. Are we
Okay.
is COVID gonna knock it out, or is this a real thing?
It's a real thing. It's a drive-through, so it's It was approved through Uncas Health. The people stay in their cars. They just hang their bags out of the window. And I think Melinda said that the people passing out the candy have gloves and masks on and
Yeah, yeah,
keep distance. So, and unless we get, I think from what Mark Darren said, as long as we don't get a COVID, not a COVID, but a Triple E or West Nile,
Yeah.
we should be good.
yeah. Which, knock on wood, we're
Yeah.
getting later into the season, so
Yeah.
I think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, that's a good point, Tracy. And so yeah, if anyone wants to volunteer their vehicle or tractors, Al. All right. New
You
business.
know that Halloween is the adult Christmas version. You know that, right?
Yeah. It's only for an hour. It's a good way to get involved, and
It's the prep work there and back. It's not an hour, but I'm just gonna.
if it makes you feel any better, I'll be there too. So we can go through it together. All right. So we discussed the grant already. That's the only real new business that I can think of. Does anyone else have new business?
Nope.
All right. And any suggestions for next meeting? All right. Okay. So that's it for tonight. So we have to vote to end, right?
Motion to adjourn.
All right.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Bye.
Aye.
All right. Meeting is adjourned at 7. Oh, just turned 18. 7:18.
Good. Nice
All
job,
right.
Mark.
Thanks. I'm
Good.
gonna have to like write a script to just like remember this.
I have, I can give you a copy of the Robert's Rules stuff too.
That-
So
That would be
I have a
helpful.
lot of copies because when I first started, everyone gave me copies. So,
Yeah, no, that would be helpful. Seeing as I'm also
for the
president.
rec.
Yeah, for rec too. So.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.
Congratulations, Mark.
Enjoy your
Thanks.
retirement, Jack.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.